local energy auditing companies, EcoBeco, approached me and told me they were working with Corbett Lunsford and the Proof is Possible tour and wanted to bring a super efficient, high-performing tiny home to Takoma Park and host a series of educational workshops. And I said, yes, Takoma Park wants that.
EcoBeco is the company sponsor for the Proof is Possible tour here in the DC metro area. And so the Corbett and Grace came to this area because we brought them here and we found them places to stay thanks to Takoma Park as well as the city of Rockville.
The tiny home was in the parking lot next to the co-op all week long, and they were offering tours to anyone who stopped by between 5 and 6 p.m. every night of the week. It's a demonstration home that is actually being lived in by Corbett Lunsford and his wife Grace Lunsford and their 3-month-old daughter and 2 cats. They live in it full time. They also had a series of workshops for homeowners, how they can achieve those kind of results in their own homes. The tiny home is really just a way to bring people in and get them interested and talk about high-performing homes. And that means that if they can do it in this tiny home, you can do it in your home right here in Takoma Park. You can make your home as energy efficient as possible with the best indoor air quality that you can get.
Obviously, the layout of our tiny house on wheels is a little different than most people's conceptions of them. Our bed is not up top, it's underneath. We have a composting toilet, we have a very nice kitchen with a little tiny refrigerator, which is actually perfect for 2 people for several days. What makes our tiny lab really special is all of the things you can't see. So for example, the plywood that makes up all the inside spaces, which is very beautiful, is formaldehyde-free plywood. Most people don't know that all plywood has formaldehyde in it, except for this one brand, which is called Pure Bond, which you just can get at Home Depot. It's amazing, but it's very available. People don't know to look for it. We have air tightness and moisture control membranes inside the house that are from 475 High Performance Building Supply that are shipped over all the way from Europe, because we just don't have materials like that in the States because people aren't knowing to ask for them. When it rains, you can't open the windows because my windows are not set up with awnings so that all the rain sheds off. Also, humidity is kind of difficult to control, especially when we got 100 people coming in and out and opening and closing the door with the air conditioning all the time. So I'd say that my home doesn't have no problems. It has very different problems than a normal conventional home where it's uncomfortable and musty smelling or whatever. In my house, it's very tightly controlled. So things move very quickly because it's such a small space.
So I worked with our Department of Public Works and our city manager to find the location for the tiny home to park for the week, make sure that they would have what they needed. They needed some access to water and some electricity, and of course a safe place to be. And the parking lot next to the Takoma Park Silver Spring Food Co-op was a perfect place for them to be.
I think people are generally really excited to see a tiny house on wheels and actually step inside one. Obviously, there's some curiosity seekers that are interested in it. Not everybody wants to live in a tiny house, but everybody's heard of one and they've seen them on TV. So that's one thing. And also, they're generally really floored when they step inside my house and they hear that it's the quietest house that they've ever been inside. It's one of the most comfortable. My air conditioner, which is a Mitsubishi ductless mini split, makes 0 noise. It's very clean smelling inside, even though I've got 2 cats. So we've got a litter box obviously somewhere in there and they're always looking for it. So I think all of the features and the systems that we very finely tuned in the Tiny Lab are impressive to people because they do get that it is a house like their house, even though it's built very differently. All of the things are totally applicable so that when they go home, they think, wait, why is my house not like that?
Everyone has been so welcoming of this because it's all about home performance. It's all about making homes better, and bringing this one on the road helps thousands and thousands of people see what they can do in their own homes.
We were delighted to be in Takoma Park. We taught workshops for homeowners, for real estate professionals, and also for contractors and home improvement people so that they could deliver a better quality product, which is all of the features that we've got in the Tiny Lab, which is our house that we're going around the country, teaching people how to do exactly what we're doing in there on houses that are 10 times as big. Because everything we used in there is absolutely doable on houses that are normal houses.
As you can see, it is raining cats and dogs, and everyone is so excited to tour the tiny home that they are standing there in line in this downpour. That just speaks volumes about how cool it is to have a tiny home in Takoma Park and to have a super performing home for residents to tour.
Hey Akil, what are you doing? Taking a selfie with the trash?
Basically, I'm taking a picture of the trash so I can send it with the app.
The app?
Yeah, MyTKPK, the Takoma Park mobile app.
MyTKPK.
Basically, the app allows you to make a request or send a report to the city for any type of maintenance or, in this case, cleaning up trash. Here, let me show you. I'll take a picture, send it with the app, and like that. Now the city can come and clean it up.
Then can I report this tree light in front of my house? It has been out for several weeks.
Of course. You can also go to the city's website, tacomaparkmd.gov/mytkpk.
A visit from 2016 Caldecott medalist Sophie Blackall, who came with author John Bemelmans Marciano to talk about the new series they're doing together. It's called The Witches of Benevento, and it's a wonderful early chapter book series, heavily illustrated by Sophie. The stories by John are very whimsical, magical, very fun, and there's going to be at least 4 books in the series. They hope to do more. And it was wonderful, particularly for me, because Sophie is the 2016 Caldecott medalist, the reigning Caldecott medalist, and I was on the 2016 Caldecott committee that chose her book as our winner, and it's how she became the Caldecott medalist. So I had not met her before, so it's wonderful to meet her. And John, I had read about and heard about, and it's really been a pleasure to meet him as well. So it was really fun. I think kids really had a particularly good time tonight, so they're very good with kids.
I illustrate children's books and write some as well, but mostly illustrate other people's manuscripts for picture books and also some chapter books, older readers, from, let's say, as soon as you can read until as long as you want to read. The work that I do combines my 3 favorite things in the world, which is drawing, books and children. So to be able to do those 3 things together feels almost like too much fun at times.
Sophie and I came to collaborate when my editor actually put us together. I had always illustrated my own books as well as writing them. And there was this one particular book, 9 Lives of Alexander Badenfield, that really didn't actually fit my style. So they put Sophie and I together, and it just worked great.
Tonight we are introducing a new series of books called The Witches of Benevento. I'm here with my studio mate and collaborator, John Bemelmans Marciano, and these books are about 5 kids who live in a town called Benevento in Italy, set about 200 years ago, and it's unusual because it's overrun with witches, all different kinds of witches, and the kids have to stay away from the witches, manage the witches, and stay out of trouble with their parents, and just live their lives and solve all the sorts of complicated tricks and things that the witches play on them.
Favorite part of this project was that we created the characters together. Normally, it's such a solitary experience, and we were able to bounce ideas off of each other, and whenever one of us got stuck, the other one was able to not only help us figure it out, but to make something there that wouldn't have been there otherwise.
We are lucky because we could never afford to have these folks just come. They can command great fees, but we have this relationship with Politics and Prose. Basically, we connect them with them. We're an alternate venue for them. So they have so many authors and illustrators who are on tour and want to do their tour here with Politics and Prose, and the store just doesn't have enough places for them. So we end up offering our space, usually in the children's room, every once in a while in the auditorium. And so we get all these people for free. free, which is great for the Takoma Park community. All the kids in schools here and things get to meet these famous authors and illustrators, it's all part of, it's great for Politics and Prose, great for us, so it all works perfectly, I think. So, and we're looking forward to another season next fall of authors and illustrators too. We're just starting to sort of book events. It takes a while to sort of get up and running for the fall, but we're getting there.
Events like this just make all the time spent working so worth it. I mean, it's really the best part of the process. What inspired me to become an author is that I just love telling stories. It's better than, basically any other job, I think.
You can find me at my website, sophieblackall.com, or at the witchesofbenevento.com. I'm very grateful to the Takoma Park Library for having us tonight. It looks like a fantastic library.
Grandma, she's here! Grandma!
Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm here to pick up Mrs. Johnson.
Hey, Mrs. Wells, she's ready.
Mrs. Wells, thanks for coming.
Villages are associations that help seniors age in place. Volunteers in select Montgomery County villages give rides to seniors for shopping, worship, social outings, or doctor's visits. If you are a senior who no longer drives, you can make a volunteer happy. Ask for the gift of a lift. To volunteer as a driver, request a ride, or find out if your neighborhood is a participating village, please call 301-255-4212. Brought to you by Village Rides.
Teen Invasion is basically the name brand for the teen program of the Recreation Department. So it deals with everything that has to do with teens, whether it's the camps during the summer, Teens on the Move, the spring break camp, anytime we go out and do like the community service hours at the different festivals and events, things like that. Knowing a bunch of people in the community, this is the community I grew up in. And so there were people that I looked up to and that helped guide me on things that I wanted to do in life. Feeling that we had a lack of that in the community. I spoke to a couple of them, see if they wanted to come out, meet these kids, and instead of doing the normal, okay, take them laser tagging or this, I thought them playing in the basketball game would put them on a different level so that they're able to, one compete, everyone likes a little bit of competition, and then just find something where they can relate to and speak to each other, and then afterwards, then expand on it by going on outings and building that relationship to help them.
Events like this bring us together. It just brings when you have the kids, the new school against the old school, gives us a chance to interact. In my profession, since I'm in law enforcement, gives them a chance to see me outside of my uniform, just being a person playing basketball. It's good for the community to have events like this, so we get to just come together and everybody gets to see each other in another light.
It was actually a really, really fun event, playing the old school versus the new school. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell by all the gray hairs, I'm a part of the old school, and so I'm playing against some guys that are half my age. So it was really fun because I don't get a chance, just like a lot of the old school guys, to play on a regular basis anymore. We're either working nights, working days, all types of crazy shifts and things like that. So to get out there, run around with guys my own age, and then also get a chance to run around with the younger guys, it was a lot of fun, but it was very exhausting.
So we could all get along together better and get some exercise and play the best game ever.
It takes a lot of kids out the streets, keep them around, doing something good where they don't have to be out, doing something bad. It's a good cause. It's a real good cause for them. They keep kids out the streets. It's a good thing. Everybody's in the gym. Nobody's in the streets doing something crazy that can get them in trouble. So that's the most important thing. It was a nice experience. Got to play with the community, people in the community, the rec. Got to play against some of the old school players that we grew up with. It was a good experience.
It was real fun. It was a fun environment, and it was a fair game all the way around.
It's a good experience. I like to play basketball, so giving back to the community, it's a good thing to do.
They played a great game. I was surprised even with the new school. They came back. They're 20 points away, and they came up. So I'm excited. All the kids were excited to play. The old school were excited to play. So I'm happy. It's still a success in my book.
I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, honestly, I was didn't know what the rosters were going to be. But it was good to get out here with the kids and show them how old school basketball players play the game. And I was really impressed with their comeback, given the size that we had. They played hard and was able to get back in the game and made for an interesting game. It was fun, and it was just good to be a part of.
They didn't surprise me. I'm familiar with all the faces. I just wanted to play my game and be aggressive.
They came out old, slow, but at the end of the day, they won. We give them their props. They did good, so we congratulate them.
They came out with a lot of energy, but yeah, and I didn't expect some of the people to be there. I did not know any of them. Man, if we do this again next year, we coming out strong. We gonna win the game. I'm about to shoot my threes, get a dunk in. My man Jack, he gonna flap his ears and we gonna fly.
We're doing good. Old school is out. What's the score? We have 9 points, 2 minutes to go. Old school, they're getting it done.
Alfred Morris with the ball.
Hold it, out, we got it.
Kirk with the ball. Cole Park's finest. Down to big man. And it's blocked.
They don't got that moxie that us old school people have.
The result of all that exhausting work was a trophy. I don't know if you got a good shot of that, but 2 hard quarters, we just used teamwork. Since the old school doesn't really have the athleticism that the new school has, we just use as much teamwork as possible to make it happen. And teamwork makes the dream work.
Old school, we're going to come with some more older players. We had a lot of younger kids on our squad. We're going to have some more older kids, so we're coming for y'all.
I'm going to just say this. They're going to need a lot more ice. Ice on their knees, ice on their backs. They kind of got us. We came back, but we're going to get it back. Trust me, we're going to get it back.
Give a dog a bone? Give a dog a home. Helping homeless animals today and every day.
Opening day is always an exciting time. We have players coming from 13 different states, 24 different colleges and universities throughout the country. We also have 12 interns, and we also have Bat Boy and Bat Girl who are going to be working this summer for us. So it's the culmination of about 9.5 months of work of putting this thing together, and opening night is the night which we celebrate our first game of the season.
It's great. It's a new season and everything is hopeful. We had a pretty good year last year. We finished in second place in the division, 4th overall. We got in the playoffs for the first time in a while, and so we're looking to see if we can repeat that. We have a lot of guys coming back, and we got a number of other players who look like they're promising. We are a college wooden bat baseball team. We're in the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League, which is made up of 10 teams in Northern Virginia, District of Columbia, and Maryland.
I had the opportunity to purchase the team, a team that was in another league in 2000, and we decided to bring the team here to Montgomery Blair. For the first 2 years, we were on the road. We played in 5 different stadiums. So the team has been here since 2000. This is our 17th season of Thunderbolts baseball.
Wooden bat baseball is typically how summer leagues are carried out. They play with aluminum bats in college, and for players who are interested in playing professional baseball after their college years, the wooden bat experience is an important one to have to get some measure of how they can do that way.
Before every game we have BP or batting practice, so that's what we were setting up. When the coach gets here, he'll throw batting practice to position players and the hitters, and the position players will take ground balls and just get ready for the game.
Well, physically, obviously you want to make sure you're nice and stretched and you're warm, and then they usually go take a couple swings just to get their eye-hand coordination going, and just try to get as many reps as they can to get their body prepared for 90 miles per hour coming at them.
It's a little workout before the game. We use a weighted ball, softball, baseball, just to get our arms loose, ready for the game.
We do a lot of extra hitting, we get extra defense in, and try to get ourselves mentally ready to play every night in this league.
Preparing somebody mentally is a two-way street. I can say stuff, I can give them examples and ideas of what to do, but obviously it's going to come down to whether or not they are going to be ready to perform at the level they know they can do. And baseball is a tough sport, so they can go up there and get a base hit their first at bat and then struggle the rest of the game and they're back down again. So it's more or less just keeping the reality of the fact that it's a difficult game, that hitting 3 out of 10, getting hits 3 out of 10 is good, where other sports that's not so good. So really the best part is just watching them compete at the high level and then becoming a team, and that's something we're looking forward to do tonight is becoming more of a team, and then their abilities will shine, and that's when it becomes fun. And then the crowd gets into it, and then the coach is happy.
We welcome and we encourage and would love to have as many Takoma Park residents come join us for Thunderbolts baseball.
But I know a lot of people don't really know what the Thunderbolts are, and what it is these are the top college players from all over the country. Like I said, even 2 guys from Taiwan that come here just to play in front of scouts. Last year 4 players were drafted from our team, but this year, next year, every year we're getting more and more drafted. So these are guys that are performing at a high level. Starters from University of Maryland right down the street. These are guys that are local that are really good at their sport, and I don't think people understand that type of ball is being played, and hopefully we can get some more fans to come out and just appreciate it and have, enjoy a good night out at the park. And really that's I grew up down the street and I didn't know about it much, so hopefully being here, knowing that, and doing stuff like this can get people to come and and see what it's all about, have a good time, see the next future major leaguer, because we've had a few major league players come from here. Papelbon from the Nats played on this team, so you never know who's going to be the next one, and that's what also makes it exciting.